guys, we are on the way to our next job, or say our first job of the day. We are changing a hot water cylinder, so see how we get on. It's I went and viewed the job a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, we've won the job, so hopefully it's gonna be alright. Got about an hour drive, 45 to an hour drive to the job, so we'll get cracked on, see how we do. Hopefully it'll be alright. So I'm just getting set up on our system now, the CRM system that we use, so I can log on to the job. I'm going to start the job, navigate to the job, and then I'm going to notify the client that I'm on the way, so they will get an automated text message to say that the engineer's en route. They'll be able to track me and get an estimated time of arrival, and then if for any reason they can't be at the property, my details will be on there for them to phone me and say I'm running late or I can't do today, etc. So yeah, we've got a 47-minute drive, 20 miles. We're gonna get there around about 8:20, so I'm running a bit late today. I normally get on site at 8 o'clock every morning, but I did agree with the customer between 8 and 9 because I don't think they're an early riser. Hot water cylinder change, vented, direct cylinder, 9x450. I viewed the job a couple of weeks ago and customers agreed the quote. So it's a bit of a strange one, this one, because it's fed via communal water tanks on the roof of the flats. So it's a little bit tricky, a bit of an awkward job in the cupboard, but we'll show you it when we get there and see how much footage we can get of the job, and hopefully you enjoy it. Okay, so this is the job in question. Got a 900x450 cylinder in here, direct, vented. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I've just been walking up and down the stairs, lugging the tools and stuff in, which is all out there. But this is the cylinder. So I had a bit of a nightmare with this when I came the first time. The original call out was for no hot water, and I tried for about an hour to get this immersion out. As you can see, it's completely black all on the top. I was blowtorching it, hammering it, all sorts, box spanner immersions. It just wouldn't come out. So in the end, we isolated it. We've got a stopcock, which is the cold feed to the cylinder, but it's also feeding the cold to the bathroom, which is a bit naughty how they've done that. But these are very, very old flats, and like I said, they've got all communal tanks, but you probably can't see, but just down there it tees into the cylinder and then continues round, loops round behind the cylinder and goes into the bathroom. So we're going to isolate that, get a drain on the cylinder. I think I'm just going to disconnect the hot feed and just siphon it out, and then once it's out we can get the new one in. It's going to be difficult to make this look nice and neat. It's sort of just get it in, get it working basically. So yeah, I'm going to get this front panel off, get some sheets put up in the hallway. Got the new cylinder here, so sheet up here, and get cracked on with the job. Hopefully it won't be too bad. Right, got that front panel off now, which is this one here. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest, because what they've done is obviously put the wooden panel in first and it drops below the lip of the tile, so I had to get the multi-tool in and cut across the bottom of that in order to be able to lift it up and over, because it just wasn't coming out above the lip of the tiles. We've got that out now, so we've got access to that. Is that drain off going to work? Probably not. So I'm just going to disconnect the hot feed now, get a hose in it and get that siphoned out, and then we can get this one out, whack the new one in, and hopefully shouldn't be too bad of a job. Right, I just brought the big hoover in just in case the vent was full, because I don't know how the vent goes up to the tanks in the roof. I don't know if they're picking up on vents from the flat below, flats above, I'm not sure. So as I disconnected that hot, I just had the wet back ready, but there wasn't much in there. So now I'm just going to turn out this male iron elbow, which come out alright, to be honest. Oh, that hot pipe's in the way now. Get out. give props to all the other YouTube plumbers that do all this stuff one-handed. I'm still getting used to it myself, trying to film, do little things like this one-handed. It's not easy, but there we go, that's the elbow out. So now we'll pop our hose into that cylinder, and then what I'm probably just going to do, a bit naughty, because I'm on a second floor flat here, so I might just throw it off the balcony, to be honest. I'm not sure, haven't decided yet. Get our hose out. Get off. This is the one we want. Get that thrown in there and get this cylinder siphoned out. Right, the hose has stopped draining from siphoning, and I've just cut out a section of the cold feed as low as I can. I've sucked on that 22mm pipe with a wet vac, and I don't seem to be getting any more water. So what I'm going to do now is disconnect the compression nut on the cylinder feed in, make sure there's no more water there, and then I can spin the cylinder towards me, get it out of situ. Okay, cylinder is completely drained. We've turned it towards us and I've tilted it forward and got the wet vac on the end there. Make sure it's as empty as possible, so when I lift it out I don't flood the place, and I can just make it easier for myself to carry it out the property and out to the van. It's a copper cylinder, so nice bit of scrap for the day. So yeah, all empty. We'll get this one out of the cupboard, get the new one in, and then work out how we're going to do the pipe work. I've brought my press fittings in and my press gun, but I'm now wondering if this pipe work is the old Imperial copper, so I may need to solder onto it, which is not a problem, but it's just not what I plan to do, but it is what it is. Also the pipe work on the cold going to the bathroom is very tight to that wall, so it's going to be fun trying to get that pipe cut and get a fitting onto it, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, so we've come across our first obstacle of the day. The cylinder doesn't fit out the cupboard. I've taken the two little stops off that were just sort of like the battens to hold the panel at the front, but it's still not coming, so I'm going to have to try and take the door off now and see if it will come out with the door. Otherwise I could be a bit buggered. So we'll have a look. Doesn't look like it's anything else but the door catching it now, so hopefully I'll get that put back in. We'll get the door off. Luckily it's on screws, which is good. Normally it's flats, just to annoy you even more. We'll get that door screwed off and see if that will come out now. Right, cylinder's out. I shouldn't complain too much. I managed to just get away with undoing the middle hinge and the bottom hinge, which managed to just swing the door enough to get the cylinder out, so I was moaning for no reason, but that's what us plumbers do sometimes. But anyway, cylinder's out, so we're going to have a sweep up of this cupboard and then get the new one put in temporarily, see what we're going to do with the pipe work, and go from there. Okay, so I'm just prepping up as much pipe work as I can before I get the cylinder in. So I've got a new length of cold feed down and the section across. So I'm going to put the coupling over there and put the T near the front, so whenever you need to change the cylinder again in the future, you only need to disconnect the cylinder from the front. It just makes it a bit easier for the next person. So I'm just going to get that coupling soldered in at the back there, and then we can get the cylinder in, and then everything else we should be able to do whilst the cylinder's in situ. So I'm just going to quickly solder that up now. it's not the neatest soldering in the world, but when it's behind a cylinder, I do not want it leaking. Annoyingly for me, for some stupid reason, I'm very low on press fit fittings, and I haven't even got one 22mm press fit coupling, otherwise I'd have just pressed it, which is not like me. I'm normally pretty organised with my stock. And I went to the suppliers this morning to pick up the cylinder, and I just didn't realise my fittings box was low. But anyway, we move on. That's all in and soldered. That's that one. Now what we'll do, let that pipe cool down for a minute, and then I'm going to press a T onto that there, and then we'll just loop round into the front of the cylinder and connect on with a drain off at the front. I think that's how I'm going to do it. This cylinder's got a cold feed at the bottom here, then it's got, for some reason, it's quite strange, it's got 2 tap-ins there. Normally you'd have one for a secondary hot outlet, which you can take to a shower pump if you've got one, but for some reason this one's got 2. But we're just going to blank them off, and then round the other side of the cylinder, if I can get to it, there's another cold tap in that side, so we'll choose which one we want. I think I'll do it so that the hot return, the hot outlet, the secondary hot outlet, and the other one is more visible from the front, so then there's only one fitting that you can't see. But all I'm going to do is put a bit of pipe in that, and then a press fit cap. We'll literally just go like that, and then we'll paste up that nut and olive, and that should be all good. So shouldn't be too bad. It's still quite hot. I'll let that cool down for a minute. Right, just getting the cylinder all prepped in now, so I think I've worked out a plan of what I'm going to do. So the one with the cold feed on its own, obviously there's, well, like I said, there's one either side, and the other hot outlets on the other side. So I'm going to cap this one off, and then this one's going to go at the back. So just cut a short stub of pipe, nut and olive, and a press cap. So we're just going to get this made up now, and then get that one tightened in. I use V2, always have, always will. In my opinion, it's the best paste you can get, because you can use it on gas as well. So it's the one I carry in my bag at all times, and it's never let me down. Generous amount on there. We don't want this leaking at the back of the cylinder, or we can't ever get to it again. So that's going to go in there, into the cylinder like that, and then we should just about have enough room to get press gun, I hope. Otherwise I have to do it first. No, I will have to do it first. That was stupid. Make sure that's pushed all the way in. And fit in, jaws, and put it on like that. Make sure it's all the way home. And that's it. Fitting's pressed, clamped on like that, and now that's ready to go into the cylinder. And then we just tighten that up. that's it. I'll do for that one. I will spin it round and get the other side done, get the cold feed connected in, and then swing the hot in. The hot looks a bit tight, to be honest. I'm just trying to see if I can marry it up with a couple of M-feed street elbows. Hopefully we should just about make it. We'll have a look. Right, we'll get these two outlets capped off now. So just same again, 2 press fit caps. See if I can do this one-handed somehow. No, can't do it. Okay, get that in the jaws like that. And then that's that one done. Get another one. Same thing. Second one now. That's it. We'll get them pasted up into the cylinder. Get our cold connected, get the water on, and while that's filling up, we'll quickly get the hot done, get the immersion in, wire it up, and get out of here. Shouldn't be too bad. Right, the cold is in. I'm not overly happy with how I've done it. I haven't put a T and a drain off on it. After some thought, it's just not necessary, to be honest. The effort you have to go through to get the front panel off and try and get onto a drain off that probably won't work in 15 years time anyway. It's just easier to siphon the cylinder out. Be very easy to undo the top nut on the hot. So I've just done it like that. Obviously being in press, it's a bit bulky, but it won't leak. So T's down there, cold feed in, over there to the cold to the rest of the bathroom. As I said, I haven't done the pipework here. You can probably see some of the pipework behind. It's been in there for about 70 years. There's no way I can alter it all, so that it's got a dedicated cold supply. Otherwise I'll have to run a pipe from the roof of the building all the way down to the cold to the bathroom, which is just not feasible. So that's how it's installed. It's got a decent head height pressure on it, so it won't be a problem feeding the bathroom and the cylinder. So that's just how it is. Cold's all in, so I can turn the water on. That will now start filling the cylinder. And then I'm going to quickly get the hot swung in. I think what I'm probably going to do, just about enough movement on that hot. I cut that olive off, solder a coupling onto that, and then a bit of pipe into 2 street elbows. That should just about do it, and then just wire up the immersion and get all my rubbish out. I'm a bit messy today. It's not normally like me again, but just cracking on. So see how it goes. Right, I just had a little tidy up because it was stressing me out. The cylinder's finally filled. That's the water running out the hot tap now. Hot is on the right for some reason. That's all filled up. So now literally just get the wiring done on the immersion and do a heat test on it, make sure it's all good, and then we can start getting everything out. But it's not been bad, decent little job. It's taken about 3 hours, so can't really complain too much. Like I said, not the neatest install I've ever done in my life, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. End of the day, it's all in, it's not leaking, it's clipped where necessary, and once I've done the wiring and I've done a heat test on it and I'm happy, I'll throw some lagging on that pipework and get it all sorted. Right, we are all done. That's the cylinder all put back together, all the wooden slats put back on, so the customer's got some shelf space to put whatever they want in there. Put the panel back in, put trims back on, door hinges screwed back in. So that's it. This is as if he was never here, which is always good. I've had a sweep up of the floor. Just got to get sweeped up out here, and then I've got the annoying task of getting all my gear down to the van. And unfortunately, I'm on my own. I haven't got my apprentice with me today, so I've got to lug all this down the stairs by myself. 2 flights of concrete stairs, which is just great. But anyway, job's all done, hot water's all on. I'm just going to leave it a little bit longer so I can do my test in the hot water. Make sure the immersion's cutting off when it should. Otherwise, we're all done. Very happy with the job, they're very happy. They haven't had hot water for about 2.5 weeks from the last time I quoted the job. I obviously had to accept the quote, and then I had to put it in my diary, and I've had to try and find time to get back here. But we've got it all done now, and they're over the moon that they're going to have a nice hot shower tonight.